trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. All right. So let's see who's in here. All right. Just anticipate Buckhorse DC. All right, Nessa G is here. Bronze Flat Power God is in the virtual building. Let's get into it, pretty wings. All right. Melanin is here. Okay, Lillian X. Nita's in Mike's world. All right, Dangerous. I see you. I said Lillian. Millicent is here. Okay. Jasmine, Sheila, Claudette, Buckhorse DC. All right. Queen Shay is here. Okay, Red Wine Entertainment. So shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Gregory, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay, so let's get this party started. Everybody hit that like button. Okay, I see you, Love Christy. We the people. All right, Chris B. All right, so let's get into it. Now, before we do, let's have a brief word from my sponsor. I see you, Cookie. I need to get my my water off the stove for my tea. Okay, so anyway, let's get into it. Everybody hit the like button. Don't forget to double check and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you have not been receiving those notifications. Okay, we're about to get into it. We have to talk about Trump first. Real quick, we have to go over our war updates. Okay, but for now, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes because I got to keep the lights on. Okay, here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay. So don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her products at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil. Okay, so let's get into it because they say that Trump has signed an interim deal, okay, with a 60-day period before they settle out all of the specifics. Now, don't ask me how viable this is because we know how Trump is, okay, wishy-washy and full of crap. And also, allegedly, Satan Yahoo is still upset because he wasn't allowed to see the deal before they came to this agreement. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Not to mention, did anybody see J.D. Vance on The View? J.D. Vance went on there and just made a fool out of himself. I mean, of course, that's not hard to do. But anyway, we'll get into that as well.
Halls of Versailles. President Trump marking the end of the G7 summit by signing a memorandum of understanding with Iran.
This was not easy, I can tell you.
Spending his last day in France, touting the agreement for an immediate and permanent termination of military operations in Iran. According to a senior U.S. official, the United States required to lift its naval blockade within 30 days and terminate all types of sanctions against Iran. In exchange, Iran must allow toll-free passage through the Strait of Hormuz for 60 days, which existed before the war.
We stopped nuclear holocaust.
On Iran's nuclear program, the president's main reason for starting the war, Iran agreed, as it has before, that it will not procure or develop nuclear weapons. But some uncertainty still on the key issue of the nuclear materials Iran already has. The countries say they'll reach an agreement in the future, and the U.S. says that Iran will eventually have to dilute its enriched uranium.
They can never have a nuclear weapon.
The agreement's most controversial provision, a $300 billion framework for the reconstruction of Iran and the return of over $100 billion in assets that were frozen by the U.S.
It's not our money, it's their money.
The administration says the reconstruction costs will not fall to U.S. taxpayers. While many Republicans back the president's plan, some voicing opposition. Senator Ted Cruz, a Trump ally, saying in an interview that Trump is getting, quote, very poor advice, adding, quote, history teaches that giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is a bad idea. And while President Trump continues to maintain that this agreement will end any effort by Iran to develop a nuclear weapon, he conceded yesterday that it will not completely eliminate their military apparatus. The president saying it would be unfair for Iran not to have a ballistic missile arsenal while their neighbors in the Gulf do. Chanel?
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the
Hold on. I know darn well. Let me see something here. Lillian X said this orangutan loves putting his name on stuff. I know you didn't. You know what? That's exactly what he looks like. Okay, they're the same color as him. And I find it all interesting that he had the audacity, dare I say, to try to make a mockery of Obama and Michelle. Okay, when he looks like a whole orangutan. Okay, make it all make sense. Anywho, let's go to BB because they say BB is mad, honey, and ready to fight. Trump better watch his back. I keep telling you guys, y'all think it's a game. Okay, y'all think it's a game, but BB is pissed off. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention because he wants to run things. And now Trump has dared to do something on his own. Whew. Let's get into it.
Setback is unfolding for Benjamin Netanyahu as the Israeli prime minister finds himself sidelined by the very ally he has long relied upon. From presenting himself as the indispensable partner of Washington in confronting Iran, Netanyahu is now facing the reality of a U.S.-Iran agreement he opposed, a deal he reportedly did not even see before President Trump unveiled it to the world. With elections just 4 months away, the diplomatic shock is rapidly turning into a political headache. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu remained notably silent after President Trump formally released and signed a new agreement with Iran, a deal that many Israeli officials reportedly view as both a strategic setback and a political embarrassment for Israel's leadership. The development marks a dramatic reversal for Netanyahu, who had repeatedly promised the Israeli public that the campaign against Iran would end only with what he described as total victory, only to find himself accepting a memorandum of understanding brokered by Washington rather than the outcome he had publicly championed.
For decades, I have been fighting Iran's efforts to arm itself with nuclear weapons. I can define it as my life's mission.
That's enough about him, honey, because we already heard that. We already heard that the other day, okay? We already heard that. Trisha said, Trump, keep your head up. I know you're fed up, okay? Please, in the words of Tupac, not keep his head up, honey. Y'all are nefarious, honey. And now they say Putin has entered the chat, honey. Let's go to this clip real quick. They know Putin doesn't play. They better sit down somewhere, honey, because Putin is out here talking ish. Okay? He's out here talking ish. Let's get into it.
Its toughest message yet to Israel, making it clear that the days of acting alone in the Middle East are coming under growing international pressure. The warning was shot through Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during a call with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, as Moscow threw its full support behind a new U.S.-Iran peace roadmap. According to Russia's official statement, all sides must follow the agreement without exception, and that message appeared aimed directly at Israel.
Baby, did y'all hear it? Did y'all hear what Putin said? He said, the Russians said both sides must follow every aspect. Okay, so basically telling it's not real. Y'all better sit down somewhere and stop bombing Lebanon, okay? Because that's all going to be part of this deal. Ooh, honey, it's about to get real ugly. I can only wait to see.
During the call, Araghchi reportedly stressed that ending Israeli military operations and pulling forces out of southern Lebanon are central parts of the proposed deal. Moscow welcomed the plan and signaled that Russia is ready to help ensure the agreement is respected across the region. Together, Russia and Iran are presenting a united front, sending a blunt message to Israel. Follow the deal, lower tensions, and stop actions that could derail the peace process.
You heard what Putin said? Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I tell you who BB doesn't want any smoke with, and that's Putin. Okay, you heard what Putin said, okay? Y'all heard what he said. Anywho, but now for the grand finale, before we get into the Asians and the white folk MAGA, honey, no. Now, why is it? Can someone please explain why the racist MAGA types always are up in our business? What do they even have to do with the Asian blackout? But honey, they have inserted themselves. Okay, and out here just telling all kinds of lies. We're gonna get into it. I'm going to this video with JD when he was on The View. Charlemagne the Devil gave him Donkey of the Day for it as well. Gave him Donkey of the Day, honey. Let me put an overlay on here. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. It's the least y'all can do. Y'all know I didn't even get any sleep last night because I was on TikTok till like 3 in the morning on one of those lives. Honey, they kicked me off the live at one point. They let me back up, honey, but they had to kick the queen off because I got the live like put on a timeout or something. I went in on some Karens. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
For community.
Sure.
You know how hard it has been for people. two things. You talk a lot about your Catholic faith, but the Catholic faith says we take in immigrants, we take in people who don't have or who are having a hard time. How do you justify both things?
So let me say first a couple things, Whoopi. So number one, the book is actually way less political than you might think if you were just watching this, because obviously we're getting into the issues of the day.
Right.
95% of the book is really not about politics. I kind of have to write about politics because I'm the vice president, but I want to answer your question.
Right.
So fundamentally, if you think about what is immigration enforcement, immigration is law enforcement. It's somebody who has broken a law. A law enforcement officer has to show up and enforce that law. Now, inherently, sometimes that process is not always going to be pretty if you capture a video clip of it, in the same way that if you arrest somebody for committing a violent or a nonviolent crime. So
what I want you all to pay close attention to, beloveds, and if you're wondering why I'm putting the raccoon over his face, it's because I don't want to look at him, okay? I reserve that for the raccoons, but in this case, I don't want to look at him. But here's the thing. Notice his gestures, his body language, how he, projects his words. Doesn't that remind you all of Keg's breath? Okay, here comes the word salad, but let's let him cook.
sometimes it's not always pretty. What I'm saying is the Catholic faith is actually I think it strikes the right balance here. It says the Christian faith, I think this is true of Protestants and Catholics, that you can have borders.
Yeah.
You're allowed to enforce your borders. That means the law enforcement piece of it. But you also have to take certain precautions and certain care, okay? And again, your argument is fundamentally, Whoopi, you're saying that we don't strike the right balance. I disagree with you about how we apply that, but nobody hopefully is saying we're not allowed to have a border.
No,
what I'm saying is that in order for us to actually enforce the law, you can't set a standard that says you're not allowed to deport anyone unless they've committed a violent crime. You've got to enforce the law equally.
So let me do my follow-up.
You don't have to raise your hand.
Let me do my follow-up.
Yes, I do.
Because you were talking about people. What did Black people do to this administration that has allowed it to really stigmatize folks of color? And you know how hard it is. You have folks of color in your family.
Sure.
So when you see, things, the Emmett Till stuff coming down, or them doing all kinds of removal of information of Black heroes, how does that sit with you?
Well, what exactly are you talking about, Whoopi? Because you just
I know
Emmett Till was
I can tell you all the stuff. Yeah.
Now I want you to pay attention because he's sitting there trying to play dumb. This is what MAGA does. They sit there and try to act as if they haven't a clue as to what you're talking about. Oh, come on, JD.
No, I want to know what
you don't know what I'm talking
to your
about.
actual point.
So in a lot of the museums, there's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country. Slavery happened. All kinds of stuff happened. And it seems that it has been very easy for this administration to remove that and also to denigrate Black folks who have worked their behinds off to get this American dream. How do you, you know better.
So Sonny, that was actually a very helpful intervention, because I think the story you're talking about is where, allegedly the administration is holding back the appointments of people based on skin color. I've seen the story.
I'm talking about a host of things. I'm talking about Black history getting erased from public spaces. Black voter districts are being dismantled. Black leaders are being sidelined from our ranks. Where do Americans of color fit in this vision? Because it doesn't seem like we fit.
I think, Sonny, my view,
And if I may, since October of last year, there's been something like 6,668 refugees allowed into the country. All but 3 were white South Africans.
So first of all, I'm very skeptical of that number, because we have a lot of.
Now watch as he tries to gaslight them. Okay, I haven't watched this, but I'm just sure that's what he's about to do. Just look at him. He doesn't know what he's gotten himself into. Okay, please pay attention.
Different immigration pathways in the United States of America. But let me just address Whoopi's point. Look, first of all, you asked the question, and maybe you don't believe this coming from me, but I think everybody is welcome in our political coalition. Frankly, even if you didn't vote for us, everybody is welcome in our country so long as you're an American citizen with the duties and the legal obligations and rights to be here. But Whoopi, let me just give you an example of this. Okay, so you say that we're anti-minority or anti-black.
No, I didn't say that. I asked. See?
Well, okay, fine. Be fair.
Now pay attention. He just told on himself. She never said anything about that. She just asked, what are we doing or what is it while we're being singled out? Let's continue.
Fair.
Don't start any stuff
All
with
right,
me,
okay,
man.
all
Don't
right.
get me in trouble. Don't start no stuff with me. But
I misinterpreted your question,
That's
but
all right.
let me answer your actual question there. What I'm saying, I think, okay, look at Washington, D.C. One of the most democratic and one of the blackest, by share of population, blackest cities in the United States of America, has seen a radical decrease in violent crimes and sexual assaults and in murders. We have tried to take the crime issue seriously, in part because we believe everybody, whether you're black or white or rich or poor, deserves to live in a safe neighborhood.
why does the crime?
And
where does the crime step in? This is not about crime. This is
black women
about
lost their jobs.
Right.
This is about human
Sonny,
rights.
what you're saying is
Black
we got to do
history's
more on the economy.
And black history has been
Sonny,
erased from public
Black
spaces.
history is not
That
erased
is
from
true.
public
Guys,
spaces.
we do
That
have to
is
get to
not
Iran
right.
when we get back.
Yeah,
There's some
but
very
guys,
important news to
I'm
get
telling you, we celebrate Black history. We
Oh my Lord, sit down somewhere. You don't celebrate us, clown. I want you all to pay attention because see, he thought he was going to be able to come on here and run game. See, never watched this show. Honey, you cannot run game on these women. Okay, they're like some hens in a coop. They will come for you. Okay, then sitting there like I told you all he was going to gaslight. I knew it.
celebrate all American history in this administration.
Can I
You
ask you
guys
about a
might be
specific
skeptical
piece
of
of
this,
black
but I
history?
promise you
I gotta
it's true.
have to.
Sit down somewhere. Oh, that was the end of the clip. Okay. That was the end of the clip. Okay, that's the one from the Breakfast Club. I'm not going to show that one because of iHeartRadio. Okay, so anywho, I think we all saw where that was going, okay? I think we all saw where that was going. Now he's sitting there saying they celebrate Black history. No, you don't. All right? That's why Trump is signing that, was supposed to be signing the deal on Juneteenth. All right, acting dumb like he ain't no itch. Yes. Oh, but let me just tell you all something, honey. Before we get into it about the Asian blackout, so let me just tell you all about this space that I was in last night. See, this is why I don't do TikTok spaces. I don't like TikTok spaces, really. You know, I'll go there and listen sometimes. But the couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times that I've gotten on a panel, they always get mad at me, y'all. They always get mad at me because I be speaking too much truth and facts and they can't stand it. Okay, so anyway, like I said, they kicked me off the panel. And let me just tell you what was going on. It was a Black guy. I don't remember his name, but it was an older Black guy. It was his channel. It was his account. And so he had a bunch of Karens on there. Okay, he had about 4 or 5 Karens, no joke. And then he had a white guy that was hosting with him, like the co-host, and they were all racist to death. They were all racist devils, honey. But the funny thing is, they were all trying to act as though they weren't racist. So let me just, y'all know I peep game, honey. I knew they were racist from the get-go, okay, with the things they were saying. They were basically using little microaggressions. And so here's what the live was about. The live was about the comparison between the Case and Allison case and the Carmelo Anthony case. And when I tell you, these racist devils, they were making up all kinds of excuses about Case and Allison. Now, let me just say this. And when I got on the panel, honey, they got mad because I asked the question they didn't want to answer. They started trying to beat around the bush and all of that. So let me just tell you. So Case and Allison, for those of you who don't know, okay, he was like 17 or 18 years old when he was in Texas, and he killed his classmate who was also about the same age. I think they both were 17 or 18. Long story short, here's the thing. Kaysen knew that him and this guy were going to get into a fight. Okay, so he left the school because he was scared, he's coward. He left the school and went home and got a knife, like a 5.5-inch knife, okay, much bigger than what Carmelo had. He left the school, went and got the knife, okay, but he's scared. Why the hell didn't he stay at home? Why did he come back to the school? That's one question. So anyway, he goes home, gets the knife, comes back to the school, and goes into the bathroom or the restroom. And he doesn't know, supposedly, that the other guy's in there because they were supposed to fight like later on that day or whatever. So he goes in there, sees the guy, and they were trying to say, the Karens were trying to say that the two Mexican guys cornered him. Oh, there was two of them. They cornered him. But when we say that Carmelo got jumped, oh no, it was one-on-one. He should have not been a coward. Y'all see what I'm saying? So of course it was ticking me off. So then he went into the bathroom. They said that the Mexican guys locked the door. That's a lie, because you all know I reported on the story. The door wasn't locked. In fact, the door was broken, if I'm not mistaken. But they were like, oh, the door was, they locked him in. They cornered him. They cornered him. Here's the thing. So I brought the facts. I said, first of all, Kaysen Allison went home and got a knife. Okay. And then not only that, he had researched on Google what parts or where can you stab someone so it'll be fatal. Like, where's the best places to stab someone? Like, he literally looked this up. This is all premeditation. Not to mention, and I didn't even know this part, a black guy that came up there named Ryan, he said it. He said that he also, they testified in court that he also sent a text to some people in a chat, in a group chat, that he was going to put Ramirez, the guy's name was Joe Ramirez, I believe. He said he was going to put Ramirez in the ICU. Okay, so he said this the days before he did it, before he killed this young man. But they were trying to act like this guy was innocent. One was straight lying. And if you didn't know the facts of the case, you would have believed them. That one of them was like, well, you know, the thing is, Kaysen had a brain injury. After they beat him, he had a brain injury. He didn't have no damn brain injury. He had an injury on his head from the fight. Okay, that's not a brain injury. And then she was like, he was so scared. He wouldn't get, he was so scared. That's why, and he didn't even know they were in there. They were all just trying to make excuses. Even the white guy was too. They all were. But then when it came to Carmelo, they were like, oh no, that's worse. Because somebody literally asked them, so whose case do you think was worse, Carmelo or Kaysen's? Oh, Carmelo, he went looking for trouble. What? Somebody that goes home, gets a knife, comes back and stabs somebody 4 or 5 times in vital places that they Googled, and they told people they were going to do it. That is not worse than what Carmelo did. That's what they kept saying. And then when I was telling them, you know, what was testified to in court and how some of the, because they kept talking about what they said in court, this and that. I said they were lying in court. Their statements changed from what they initially told detectives. So that was not even true. And then I tried to tell them about the part where the witness, Jose, got taken off the stand and taken to the chambers. Oh, they all started talking over me. Oh, no, that's not true. That's a lie. And then the host that's black, he's a raccoon. He started playing that song, Why You Always Lying? Yeah, he was like, why you always lying? And then I said, no, that's what happened. That's what people who were in the court said. And he was like, no, they never take witnesses in the chambers. I said, well, yes, they do. Okay, sometimes they have ex parte meetings in there with just one side. Okay, and they take their defendant with them. And so I said, but in this case, the judge, and they were just all talking over me, like all 5 of the Karens were just all, and the host was trying to get them to be quiet. Honey, I just got fed up and told him to drop me down, but he didn't want to drop me down because I was creating drama for his live. You know, that brings more engagement. I knew that's what he was doing. He's like, no, I'm not going to drop you down. You can go ahead. Just keep going. No, I dropped myself down because, first of all, I knew what he was doing, like I said. Okay, yes, I'm serious, honey. I was so mad, but hold on. So as I get down off of the panel, I'm in the chat, and I'm just going in on the Karens because other black people came up. It was like 2 other black women. And so, hey, Albie Chill, thank you for your contribution, beloved. I appreciate you. Thank you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, so as I'm sitting in the chat, And, the Karens, they're just trying to go in and just telling lies and just, oh my God, they were acting like Carmelo was some thug. I mean, they were just saying so much stuff. I can't even remember. I'll let you all hear it later because I did record it. But the thing is, I didn't record myself because I didn't even think about it as I'm recording the live stream, right? The phone is not going to record me because I'm outside of the phone, if you understand what I'm saying, because I was screen recording. So when I'm talking, you'll see my little thing flashing, but you can't hear what I'm saying. I was like, damn. But because everybody in the chat was like, oh, you did good, Queen. Oh, you told him. Oh, you told him. Anyway, the bottom line is this. They were all racist, okay? And they kept trying to act like they weren't. They were trying to act like they weren't. And it was just so obvious to me because they were using microaggressions. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that he shouldn't have been under there. 15 times they told him to leave. He was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. So I said, this is before I dropped down. I said, so why did Case and Allison bring a knife to school? Because they kept saying, why did he even have a knife at the track meets? Why did Carmelo bring a knife to the track meet if he wasn't looking for trouble? I said, why did Case bring a knife to school? They couldn't answer it. None of them said a damn word. There was one lady who had just gotten up there, and she said that she worked at the school where Case and Allison went. And so when I asked her, why did he bring the knife to school? Because she was trying to cape for him so hard. Oh, he was so scared. Oh, he was worried. Oh, this and that. They had been beefing for months and the whole sad story. So I said, why did he bring the knife to school? She was like, well, we usually check the students, but we can't check everybody. I didn't ask her if you checked him. I said, why did he bring the knife to school? But she wouldn't answer that. Okay, that's when I had dropped down after, the commotion, everybody trying to talk. Okay, so then more people get up. There was a black guy named Ryan, and he was saying basically the same things that I was thinking. And then there was another black lady. Her name was June. And she was just going in on them. But so finally, I requested to get back up there because I was tired of the lies. So the host brought me back up. And so this is when I got kicked off because the Karens, they were trying to talk over everybody. They were telling all these lies. And when I got back up there, I guess they were waiting for me. So as soon as I started talking, this one witch, named Sharon, who had big ass hair like Motley Crue in the 80s. And I'm so serious. And I told her that in the chats. But anyway, she started trying to say, how did she put it? She said something about Carmelo. She kept just trying to paint Carmelo as this monster, like what he did was savage and this and that. And then so when I responded to her and I started asking about Case, and I said, here's the thing. I said, nobody has answered my question. So let me ask it again. Why did Case have a knife at school? And then she said they both had a knife. They both had a knife where they weren't supposed. I said, we're not talking. Carmelo brought a knife. I said, we're not talking about Carmelo. I asked you about Kaysen. We can talk about Carmelo after, but for now, answer this question. So then she said something, and me, my voice got loud, and I was like, what? And then she was like, oh, these people. We told y'all these people. When she said that, I don't even know what else she said. All I heard her say was these people, and I already knew she was racist. I said, you racist ass bitch. And she was trying to say, she said, she said, oh, you must be like Carmelo. You're going to get me? You're going to get me? I said, I'm nowhere near you, but I will verbally let you have it. I said, you racist piece of shit. And then when I said that the second time, they got a notification. I saw it because you get like a notification on the live. I just got so mad. But so they got like a notification on the live, like for 10 minutes, they're not going to share the live or something. So the host was like, okay, Dr. Shakur, I'm going to drop you down. He said, in 10 minutes, you can come back up. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't plan on coming back up. So he dropped me down. Okay, so then they started talking again. And the black guy, Ryan, he was making some very valid points. He was talking about the Case and Allison situation and how they were acting like, like basically like they were delusional. Like, how are y'all sitting here saying this was worse? And even the black host, this is what he said. He said to him, Carmelo Anthony got a better deal than Kaysen. He said because Kaysen got the maximum sentence, which was 10 years, because they charged him a criminally negligent homicide. So he got the maximum, which was 10 years. And he said, what's the maximum for murder? That's 99 years. And he only got 35. So he's lucky. What? Honey, I'm going to tell you why I went back up there. There was a lady that came up there and I don't know if she was a moderator for him or something, or a co-host or whatever, but when she got up there, the host had something to do, so he let her run the live. And I could tell from how she was talking, she was on Mello's side. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to get back up there. And she was talking very calmly or whatever. And she made it interesting because when someone would say something, she would like point out people that to respond to that person. And so I went back up there. Okay, so I just killed their whole narrative. They started dropping after me, and the lady named June just started pointing out so many things. They started leaving. Don't leave now. It's just getting good. But the Karens, absolutely, they started to leave. Okay, honey, they were racist. That's what they were. Okay, they were all racist, period. Okay, troll alert. Okay, proud Southern patriot. We already know. Southern patriot. Hold on. Hold on. I got time. You want me to drop the link for you? Hold on. Let me just drop the link. Ooh, honey, get up here and tell me how dumb I am, honey, and how I'm not a queen. There's the link, proud Southern patriots. We'll wait for you. Okay, we'll keep the lights on. All right. Go and click that link. Since you have so much to say in the chat, this lady is now queen. Maybe a dumb ass, but no queen. Okay, well, your mom's probably your cousin. How about that? Your mom's probably your cousin. Your dad's probably your uncle. Click that link. Let's get into it. Okay, the Tethernator says colonized, gaslighted, project is the Mayo way. Yes, absolutely, beloved. Absolutely. And thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Where are you at, Southern proud patriots? Where you at? Are you at? Y'all didn't block him, did you? He's not going to click that link. Don't tell me anything in the chat. Click the link. Talking about you're too worried about race. That's why you want to make everything about racism and history, not current events. Current events, let's talk about it. Current events. A black man was just found hung from a tree a couple of months ago. Months before that, there was a black student found hung from a tree. There was a cross burning in Chicago 2 weeks ago. What are we talking about? Click the link. Click the link. Don't keep typing in the chat. You got the link. Let me drop it again in case you missed it. I'm too worried about racism. Yeah, I am worried about racism because I don't like racist people like yourself. Okay, click that link. That's what you need to do. Let's get into it because I got time today. That's why I came on early, just for the trolls. Just for the trolls. When y'all see a troll, point them out so we can drop links on their arses. Current events, Austin Metcalf killed by a black thug. Derek Chauvin gets kangaroo trial. Click the link, though. That's what you won't do. That's because you're a coward. And Austin was a coward, too. That's why he and his brother and the guy named Luke and another person jumped Carmelo. And that's why Austin's currently pushing up daisies. Bye now, since you can't click that link. Okay, since you can't click that link, sitting there talking trash. Austin's pushing up daisies because of his own actions. Had he minded his own white business and sat down, none of this would ever have happened. Oh, now I know people like the Patriot wants to say Carmelo should have never been under that tent. He had every right to be under that tent. Austin didn't own it, neither did Hunter. It wasn't theirs, and it wasn't even a tent. Let me stop calling it that. It was a canopy. Okay, and then pay attention to how Hunter said in his interview that people were had been stealing things. So because a black guy comes under the tent or under the canopy, y'all thought he was going to steal. Sit down somewhere. Okay, we know they have rage. We know that they're angry and brutes like their father. That's what he taught them. Okay, that's what their racist father taught them. Okay, to be hateful and bullies. That's why the father bullied the mother to the point that they had to beat his butt. That's why the police was allegedly constantly called to their home. Okay, Patriot, how do you like those apples? Talking about I'm just going in because I can't bring up current events. Current events, and anyway, here's the thing. The whole thing about Carmelo and Austin, that happened over a year ago. I'm talking about just months and weeks ago. Okay, do you have any stories for that? I'm sure you don't. Because sit down somewhere, honey. I don't know who these racist devils think they are, but I'm here for all the smoke. Okay, I'm here for all the smoke. Now, anyway, with that all being said, let's get down to business because later I'm going to play some of that live for you all because, like I said, I recorded it. But these people are so inherently racist, they just can't help themselves. And people like me, I trigger them. That's what I know. Okay, people like me, I literally trigger them. Okay, who is this? Pauletta. Hey, Pauletta. How are you doing, beloved? What's going on? Unmute yourself. Hold on, unmute yourself.
I'm fine.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just trying to be on just to look at the show.
I'm sorry, say what?
I was just trying to look at it, to watch it, not and be
Oh, the
involved.
live?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't want to be on the chat. You didn't want to be up here?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me just remove you. All right. She must have accidentally clicked the link. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's continue. Let's continue because, like I said, these people were trying to paint all kinds of narratives. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you just went by what they said, you would think that Carmelo was some thug from the hood, okay, who's just walking around with guns and knives looking for trouble. And they kept trying to paint the narrative that he provoked it. How do you provoke something when you have all of these nefarious people, okay, coming up to you? Absolutely. That is what they love to do. Okay. And thank you for your insight, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Honey, let me tell you something. These people, they're going to sit there. That's right. Defending white supremacy, their knee-jerk reaction. Exactly. They can't help themselves, like I said. But so anyway, let's get into the Asian blackout because they've also managed to insert themselves into that because they just can't stay out of black people's business. They're so obsessed with us. It's ridiculous. So let's go to this first clip. Now, this is some footage of the empty Asian businesses. Yikes.
Again at another beauty supply store, and listen, I'm seeing all these sales. I saw 50% off, 75% off. And why is that? Because we are not up in there, y'all. I walked through this gigantic beauty supply store and the aisles were empty on a Saturday. We are doing it, y'all. Now, one thing I did notice though is that I saw a few black men in this store, which I was surprised by, but I know that y'all need your wave caps and your wave brushes and your clippers and all of that. I would only ask, please, let's all lock in. There are black-owned beauty supply stores in most areas. So, guys, let's get on this. I know that y'all were concerned about whether or not the women were going to follow through, and we are following through, y'all. So we need everybody to lock into this transfer of wealth, this blackout. We got this, y'all. We are doing it, and we need to do it together. So I love y'all. We are doing this thing, and I'm so proud.
Yo, check this out right here.
Hurry up and get the shit off your fucking chest.
See what's been going on. Hi, how long for an appointment?
Huh?
How long for an appointment?
What do you mean? You want
Nails and pedicure.
You want pedicure? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you will do now.
You use it right now? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have a bathroom? I'll wash my hands first.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Bathroom, someone using bathroom. You can use this.
Oh, yes, this sink? Okay. And I walked the fuck right back out. I walked right back the fuck out.
I guess that challenge got accepted.
Exactly.
So yeah, I went to like 10 different nail salons, and I gotta be honest with y'all, these nail places have some of us in a chokehold. They weren't packed, but even one of us in there is too many as far as I'm concerned. And for anybody who's feeling like the blackout isn't working, please remember, at this point, it's only been a couple weeks. Every dollar removed from their businesses and put back into our black businesses is our wealth being put back into us. Let's keep it going, y'all. Since my last video, there has been a lot of pressure to follow up. I've been receiving messages upon messages. Some are positive, many are threats. What should I do? What should I say? You shouldn't do. And in that, I had to take a step back and think about what I need to do going forward. And I realized there is a large responsibility on what I would say, and I need to order my steps in my words correctly. And I prayed for guidance, and here I am now. With that, I've had a lot of conversation with people on the opposing sides, and one of them in which was the woman Monica. And I don't think that conversation is going to happen anymore, and here's why.
Of a boycott every single one of them. Boycott the hair, walk around with your bald ass head, don't eat the Chinese food, don't do any of that, okay? Because let me tell you, there is not enough black-owned business for y'all trying to cancel every...
People who think like that, their mindset is set in stone, and there's no changing it. There's no reasoning. There's not even given the facts, because they're going to...
Let me just say something. You see how she just boldly said there's not enough black-owned businesses. Even if there isn't enough, guess what? We're still not coming to you, okay? We're still not coming to you. They're not the only ones that sell these products. Please, Miss Hustle, with all of it.
I just shoot them down just to be right. And the funny part about it is that woman tries to say she's from the hood. She grew up in the hood. And that's the thing that we be talking about so much. Proximity to blackness does not give you the right to speak on black issues. Because the reason why is not that you're speaking from a place of love and care. You're speaking from a place of bias and hate.
And let me say something else too about that. So even if she did grow up in the hood, which I doubt, but even if she did, you know, sometimes we see people who don't look like us in the hood, and we welcome them because that's the type of people we are. But sometimes these people will pretend to be cool with you, but all the while be secretly hating on you. Just like Eddie Para was doing to Carmelo. He wasn't friends, and they weren't in the hood, but I'm just saying, he was not Carmelo's friend. He never was. I think that he was only pretending to be because of the girl that Carmelo was dating. But these people will sit there and smile in your face and act as though they're your best friends, and they absolutely won't be. And I'm not saying all of them, because some of them, especially the ones that, you know, that are in the hood, sometimes those are cool. But I'm just saying, sometimes you have to be careful, because people will smile in your face and act like they're down for you, but just waiting for you to fall or waiting for something to happen so they can try to go in on you. And the first thing they do is bring up race. But we're the ones who play the race card according to them. Okay, please pay attention.
See, it's funny how when black people say that we're just going to start focusing on us and trying to build up our communities, that translates into Asian hate. But see, it looks like you did that on your own.
That's right.
Hey, look at this. Look. Hey.
Looks like you wrote a check that your ass can't cash. And then if you do try to cash it, it's going to bounce. And that comes from speaking on things that you don't know or understand, but I'm going to learn you today. See, the very nails that you guys claim to own, this is something that a lot of people don't understand, that you all brought to the country and made a cheaper service.
Now, she's going to break this down, how they got here from Vietnam and they started doing the nails, okay? Now, Desmond says that Asian lady got exposed for doing fraudulent activity. So that was her? Because I heard that yesterday. They were talking about some Asian lady that made a video trying to go in on us, and they said that she did some kind of fraud or whatever. So that's her. Ha! Karma. Okay, I love it for her. I love it. Thank you, Desmond, for that information and your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings.
See, nails always and always have been luxury service for women, even dating back to Egyptian times, where they were seen as a wealth status and spiritual status. And the higher up you are spiritually, the longer, more elegant your nails are. See, what a lot of people in the Asian community won't tell you is back when Vietnam was at war, they came over here in mass amounts, in droves. And there was no place for them to work because, you know, America, the racist place that was racist for everybody, didn't let them work. Can you imagine that? So what did the immigrants do? They came together and found out that they could do nails, and they put their skills together, and they trained families upon families on ways to cater to the community and sell their nails. And in that, they created the fast shops, $25 nails. Because before Vietnamese immigrants came to the U.S., nails were considered a high-end luxury service, somewhere around $80. But they found a way to cut the middleman out and make it cheaper so they can service to the Americans at a faster, quicker rate. But you want to know something else?
they still weren't making money because the women who were coming in getting the simple nail sets were only covering the basics. It was the Latinas and the black women who were getting the long, elegant nails that foot the bill. So in 1964, when the Civil Rights Act passed and more black women and colored women entered into the workforce, more of these quick pop-up shops popped up to cater to them to get their business. They also won't tell you that most of the loans that they receive to open businesses are specifically made to be opened in black neighborhoods. They also won't tell you that they really don't like you and they're trained on social skills and basic conversation skills. You know, the typical, hey, you have a boyfriend? Yeah, they're taught that. That's all a part of their psyche class that they get before they go and get the training to do nails.
So they're taught to make small talk with you, okay, just to appease you, to keep you coming back and to seem friendly, but they really can't stand us. Isn't that something? I want y'all to pay attention.
And further solidifies the point that y'all really don't even fuck with us. It just came out because of the situation. But that's all good because we're done talking to other races about what they need to do for us. And we need to start talking to each other about what we need to do for each other. And in that, we have black businesses, the ones that they don't think about. We have black businesses, the ones that they laugh about. We have black businesses, the ones that they counted out. We just need to count each other in. It's this constant conversation all the time about black customers, black businesses. Black businesses are too expensive, black customers are rude. We need to fix that. We need to fix it just with the people. The reason they're scared of a boycott is because they know the power of the black dollar. And I'm in no way inciting a boycott or a riot. What I am urging everybody to do is to drive the extra mile just for a sister. Drive the extra mile just for a brother if you know that their business is over there. And in that, I hope to usher in what I call the Black Reset. Listen, what else can we call it? Black Lives Matter was hijacked by All Lives Matter, right? They turned it into something it never was supposed to be. That was supposed to be something for us to show that, listen, we matter too. But see, here's the thing. Anytime we do something for self, it's always translated into hate for everybody else. Maybe if we just dot this down a little bit, the Black Reset, it'll make more sense. See, we're just resetting how we deal with one another. We're resetting how we do business with one another. We're resetting how we communicate with one another. There's times where I see somebody, it's another sister or brother, they might have an attitude. I have to remember, this is my sister. I'm going to reset. Hey, I'm going to reset real quick. Let's start over. We owe that to one another. When you go into a business, if you see a customer coming to your business, acknowledge them. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming to my business. How can I help you? And customers, say hello, speak when you walk in. We have to change the energy in which we give each other. And once
That's right. You need to be like the people at Chick-fil-A. Okay, Chick-fil-A has the best people working, bar none. Okay, welcome to Chick-fil-A. How can I help you? They're always so nice and pleasant. Okay, whereas some of these restaurants, these fast food restaurants particularly, you know, they'll be like just so rude. Okay, just be so rude and nasty.
we raise our frequency, can't nobody touch us. My site is live. I want you to go grab a shirt, start the movement, the Black Reset. On my site, there are these window stickers as well. The Black Reset, reset, realign, rise. Because if you put this on your business, you put this on your window, this lets anybody know that this is about change. This is a reset. You come in here, you're going to get a smile from me. You're going to get top of the line business. And as a customer, you have this on, you're letting people know that you're coming about your business. You're coming to support a black business with respect. And if you're not a black business and you don't want to get boycotted, put this on your window too. I'm playing, but I'm not. But if you want to really show you an ally, put this on your storefront. If it's really not, if you don't want the boycott, if you understand what we're saying, you could be a part of the Black Reset too. Hashtag the Black Reset. This is going to start a new era for everybody. This is not a hate train. This is not a boycott train like everybody's trying to make it out to be. This is simply a call to action for black people to realize that we can do better. We just need to do it now. That's all it is. We have the businesses, but we need to build on top of what we already have and make it stronger. The foundation is already there. On this website, there will also be an option for you to have business training opportunities to better your customer service. This is not saying you're doing anything wrong. This is just looking at what's going right and how we can expand and do better, because there's always room for better. And accountability is going to be what gets us through this. I'm not trying to come at anybody's business, but there are some opportunities for changes. We need to do better. Our attitudes have been piss poor with one another. If we want change, if we want everybody else to treat us better, we need to do better. The Black Reset.
Okay, absolutely. I love it. Now, with that all being said, yes, they're trying to act as though there's a hate train running. I'm going to go to the video of one of them saying that in a minute, but before I do, let's go to this Black woman who effed around and found out, okay? She knew there was a boycott. Now, I know that she had to have known there was a boycott because she posted this video to social media where she went into an Asian-owned business and was disrespected. Okay, don't you love it? Now she wants to come crying and whining on social media. Girl, why were you there in the first place? Okay, but the ones amongst us who are the raccoons and who want to still continue to deal with them, didn't I tell y'all this is what's going to happen? Okay, did they think they were immune? Please pay attention. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you in advance.
I'm here at this bakery, and a Chinese bakery, actually. Every time I come here, it's always a race issue with me. I come here every day. I get taro buns every day.
Now pay attention to how she says, every time I come here, I get racism every day. But yet you still continue to go there every day. What kind of raccoon are you, ma'am? Okay, what kind of raccoon are you? A glutton for punishment? Not to mention, if they're being racist and she comes every day and they know it, do you think they're not doing something disgusting to her food? Like Muhammad Ali suggested. Okay, I don't know if they did. I'm just wondering, though. I wouldn't trust it is all I'm saying. But she's an idiot.
And their customer service towards me sucks. When I just walked in the door, you didn't even hold the door for me. And I was right behind you. I was right behind you. But I'm a lady. That's ladylike, right? So once again, it's a race issue. I guess because I'm Black and then the workers behind. So it's workers behind now, all of them. And this man right here, it is a race issue. And I'm telling you, I come to this store 3 times a week. I come here all the time. You telling me what the fuck I do and what the fuck I don't do. It's a race. Fuck.
Okay. I need y'all to hear me out. Okay, because this is getting out of hand and ridiculous. If you so-called, you've been coming there, I watch as people words. You said you've been coming there and they've been mistreating you. The first time that they mistreated you, you shouldn't have never went back.
Thank you.
So I'm trying to find out, why would you go back if they mistreated you or they did whatever to you the first time? Sometimes as Black people, we setting ourselves up for failure. We setting it up so we can pull our phones out and put these people on the internet, and all you have to do is just don't go there no more. Stop supporting their business. That's all you had to do the first time. I believe her, but why do we keep going back to where we being mistreated or we're not feeling appreciated? Exactly. You can go somewhere, somebody will make you feel appreciated. But we got to stop setting ourselves up for failure, because that's exactly what we're doing. Enough is enough. I listened to her words. She said, I've been coming here. Why did you go back the first time? When they treated you bad, you shouldn't have never walked your ass back up in there.
Yeah, she's a whole nuts, okay? D Major said, I think sometimes people continue to go back because they either enjoy the victimhood or they have too much pride to walk away. Either way, not healthy. It isn't healthy, but here's the thing. She liked that food, honey. Didn't she say that was a bakery? She liked the food. Something they're serving, she likes it. And that's why she keeps going back. Too stupid to try to go and find it somewhere else, okay? Or get the recipe and make it herself. That's just it. Okay, but thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, honey, this is all nefarious at the end of the day. I absolutely cannot with some of these people. Then she wants to get on the internet and complain about it. Girl, nobody cares, ma'am. Okay. Raw Will says, appreciate the great work and dedication, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, thank you for your kind words and your contribution to the channel. But yeah, she should not have ever gone back. But going every day is just crazy.
Period. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed. The J-Lo. Wow.
So I'm here at this bakery.
Now, let's see let's see how MAGA wants to insert themselves into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Here we go. Because I'm like, sir, what do you even have to do with this? And then send her lying. Send her lying, okay, saying stuff that we never even said, okay, that we never even said. Let's get into it. Hold on, let me make sure I rewind this back.
Online is talking about how they're going to boycott Asian businesses and how much they don't like Asians.
We never said we didn't like Asians. We said we didn't like the way they treated us while they're in our neighborhoods making money and flourishing off of the black dollar.
Cordell Gooseby, who in the end of March was found not guilty by reason of insanity after he murdered an Asian woman and her unborn child.
Cordell Gooseby was...
Now hold on. I want you all to pay attention to the play here. This don't have a damn thing to do with Brad, but Brad took it upon himself to get on here and lie and say we're online talking about how we're going to boycott the Asians and how much we don't like Asians. Nobody said we didn't like them. Okay, nobody said we didn't like them. We're just not going to give them our money any longer. But then he goes on to bring up this case. First of all, the man was mentally insane. Didn't he say that himself? Okay, he sounds so obtuse, but let's continue. Oh, and by the way, Sunset says Riri, a billionaire, and she does her own nails. You can too. Absolutely, beloved. I didn't know she did her own nails. Okay, I didn't know she did her own nails. Shout out to her, honey. All right, but you know, and that I'm not surprised. Now that I think about it, I'm not surprised because these Caribbean women, sometimes they know how to do these things. But let's continue. Thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings.
Proven guilty by reason of insanity because he was actually insane. You must not know how substantial evidence needs to be in order to be proven guilty by insanity. Long story short, the defense hired an expert that proved that he was insane at the time of the shooting. Prosecution ended up hiring their own expert, and that expert came to the same conclusion, that he was insane at the time of the shooting.
Okay, so he should have come with a better scenario than that. All right, I mean the nerve of him. Please pay attention. With all the hate crimes that his own people have literally committed against Asians. I just want y'all to pay attention. Okay, who shot up that Asian salon here? That Asian spa? Okay, who went in there and killed the Asian people with a claw hammer? Okay, need I go on? Who was the main ones attacking them during the pandemic? Yeah, him. Okay, people who look like him. So he needs to sit down somewhere. But see, here's the thing. They're mad at us. And by they, I mean the MAGA types. Okay, the racists, they're all mad at us. Just mad at us on a regular, but even more so mad now about the Carmelo Anthony thing. Even though he got convicted and sent to prison, they're still mad. They have so much angst for us because they're so envious of us. That's the bottom line. And so now they see an opportunity to try to sow more seeds of hatred and division. Well, go right ahead, give it your best shot. Because no matter what you do, we're not going to get out there and be protesting, rioting, or any of the bullshit that y'all want. Okay, that's what we're not going to do. All right, we're going to just keep withholding our dollars. And Walmart's next. Walmart, we're coming for you next. Okay, please pay attention. All right, let's continue.
He wrong. Yes. We're not fighting over lesser evils, but if you want to put the information out there, put it out there.
Stop Asian Hate only got attention because of one white criminal attacking a spa.
That one spa that you were talking about was actually a 3-spa killing spree in Atlanta, March 16, 2021, where 8 people were killed in total, but 6 of them were women of Asian descent. Instead of saying the shooter's name, I'll say the victims. Delana Ashley Yuan, Dao J. Tan, Dao Yao Fang, Alondre Michaels, Hugh Jung Grant, Suncha Kim, Soon Chung Park, Young IU. Rest in peace.
190,000.
And let me just say something here. When that man murdered those people here in Atlanta, it was so sad. But do you all remember how they got on the news, okay, at a press conference and said that the man was having a bad day? Do you remember that? They said this man was having a bad day. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, they were so busy trying to paint the narrative that Black people were the ones committing hate crimes on the Asians. Okay, they were trying to paint that narrative, and right in the midst of them trying to paint that narrative, he does that. And so then they try to say, oh, you know, he was just having a bad day. A bad day that resulted in you murdering about 6 people? No less. I guess any old excuse will do, but let's continue.
1,000 cases of Black on Asian crime from 2017 to 2021. That is completely ignored.
I did not find that magic 190,000 cases that you were talking about, but let me tell you what I did find. From 1992 to 2014, 75% of anti-Asian hate crimes, the perpetrator was white. During COVID, 90% of anti-Asian hate crimes reported were white perpetrators. 75% of those were physical attacks. 2020, almost 90% of anti-Asian hate news was spread by white perpetrators. Did the Black community commit some hate crimes against Asians? Yes. Is it right? No. Nobody's right to impede on or violate somebody else's rights. That should not be allowed. You need to sweep the front porch of your own race and stop worrying about ours. According to the FBI, with reported hate crime cases, guess who's still the #1 most motherfucking hated? You guessed it, us. According to the FBI, guess which race is most reported as the perpetrators against us? Ding, 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 ding. You fucking guessed it.
You can boycott whatever business you'd like, but if you're really burnt up about the Rick Chow case, there's a lot of other shit I can show you.
And really get into how those anti-Asian hate crimes, how 75% of those perpetrators were white males that look exactly like you. Unless you want to keep it cool, because I got plenty more to show you.
Okay, I like his nerve. Y'all see how he just inserted himself in there, honey? All right, sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere, honey. But let's continue. I find it all nefarious. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, I was like, where's the next video? Okay, I forgot what I did. Okay, so let's continue. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Likes up, likes up. You know, it's sad to say, but people have to find out the hard way sometimes.
What I say about
Black people being
Black people been a big fat cash cow for the world. And everybody come to get a piece. The love relationship ain't mutual. Like, you got these people who come in our community and they take, but they don't put nothing back in the pot that they taking from. You know what I mean? So it's like, dudes like, why is the whole Asian community being punished for what one guy did? But it's like, what he did was like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's a million other straws up under that.
That's
right. I mean? You giving sisters chemical death, you know, in the treatment of their nails and hair and all this kind of stuff. You don't think about, you know, what is the best product to sell this community, because they're blessing me with resources. You know, the love ain't there. So, you know, so it's like, why are you being punished, man? Because it's like, man, Black people waking up and it's like we can see the relationship ain't a love mutual relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I bless you with the resources of my dollars, but you don't bless me with even a atom's weight of respect.
Facts.
Okay, absolutely no lies detected. And let me just tell you all something else, by the way. Okay, so did you all know that there have been people that have gone to those nail salons and they've gotten horrendous infections and diseases? Okay, there was a lady that actually got a flesh-eating bacteria. Okay, she had holes in her legs. Do you all remember me reporting that like probably about 5 years ago? But there's been more cases. Okay, there's been more cases. And let me tell you something. I have not gone to them and gotten my nails or feet done since 2020. Okay, since 2020, when they were reporting that we were hating on them and doing all this stuff. And some of that stuff to me was staged, because if you notice, if you all remember, and I pointed this out then, if you all remember, at least 3 of those videos where they were claiming that Black people were committing hate crimes against Asians, it was Black men, and they would always have on the color pink. Do you all remember that? One's in the chat if you all remember that, because that's no coincidence. You see, because Black men, a lot of Black men don't just wear pink on a regular basis. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that's just not a color that a lot of Black men wear. So I found it interesting that in like the 3 videos that they did show, because they showed like 3, All of the black men had on pink. One had on a pink hoodie, one had on a pink blazer, and one had on a pink shirt or something or other. And I felt like these were all staged crisis actors trying to paint a narrative through propaganda, and that the pink shirts or the color pink was to make them stand out because they would show them like moving through the crowd. Do y'all remember that? Okay, I need to move the chat. Okay, yeah, so you all are putting ones. Okay, so clearly you remember it. So I think they were actually trying to frame black people, but here's the thing. I stopped going to them because of that, for number one, because the Asian community did not come out in support of black people. They're cash cow, like the man just said. They should have come out and said it's not black people disproportionately doing this to us. Okay, but they didn't do anything. They didn't speak up for us, and I had a problem with that. Second of all, I saw them attack this woman and her granddaughter who's 13, and I think it was a Brooklyn nail salon. Okay, and so they were locked them in there and were just attacking them because the lady, one of them, the girl, I think, was not happy with her service. Sometimes you may not be happy with your service. It doesn't mean you don't want to pay or you don't have the money to pay or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're a good person and someone's complaining about your service, you should just try to fix it. But they didn't want to fix it. They just started talking trash and trying to go in on them. So black people started, protesting in front of their business and all of that. Then there was other incidents, like the lady that got busted in the mouth by the Asian owner of the beauty supply store, like I told you all. But there were so many different videos that I kept saying, and I'm like, I'm not going back to them ever. Okay? Ever. And I never did. Now, I will say that I had been going to the Chinese restaurants to get my vegetable lo mein, because I'm not going to get that anymore. So, but that's all I was doing. But honey, I was never going to get my nails and stuff done from them after that. But let's talk about this flesh-eating bacteria. Okay, a Florida woman was awarded $1.75 million in a settlement after an infected pedicure required the amputation of her leg. Her leg had to be amputated. Now, what do y'all think about that? Okay? That's another reason I wasn't going back after I heard that story, because if you remember, I reported that story. Honey, I have my own foot bath. I have my Epsom salts. Okay? I have everything that I need. All right? I have a whole tray full of nail polishes and all sorts of things. So with that all being said, honey, they can miss me with it. I have been not going to them because of the uncleanliness of it all. Okay? Because how do you get a flesh-eating bacteria? Someone is not cleaning out those basins that they're doing people's feet in, and that is disgusting. Okay? But hold on, there's more. So infections occur when bacteria enters the bloodstream or underlying tissue through nicks or pre-existing cuts. So like if you have a cut or something like that. And let me just tell you all something. Speaking of that, don't you all know that when I was pregnant with my youngest son, I actually sued a nail salon because I went there and the lady was doing my pedicure and cut the side of my foot because she was running her mouth and not paying attention. And then after she cut my foot and I screamed in pain, she poured alcohol on it. Okay, and the pain was even worse. So I was so ticked off. I said, "Where's your license? Do you even have a license?" And she was like, "Oh, the manager has it or the owner has it." I said, "Go get the owner. And I need to see everybody's license in here. I'm calling the police." Okay, that's how petty I was being. So they wouldn't show me anyone's licenses. And so I called the police. And it just so happened that the officer that came was Black. So when he got there, I was standing outside waiting for him. And then I told him what happened. I said, "I need you to go in there and make them give me the business license number because I'm going to report them to the Georgia State Board. Get them shut down because nobody has a license and I'm going to sue them." And so I said, "They cut my darn foot." So he said, "Where did they cut it?" So I showed him the cut of my foot and he started laughing. He was like, "That little cut?" Yeah, it was a little cut, but it hurts. And I said, also, they're not even supposed to be using that instrument they use when they're doing your pedicures with a razor. They're not even supposed to use that because if you use that, you're operating as a podiatrist, which they are not. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so anyway, the cop was laughing after I showed him that little cut, and then he was like, "Let me put my sunglasses on so I can look serious when I go in here." But anyway, he went in there and he made them give me that business license number, and then so I did report them to State Board, and I sued them. I sure did. Okay, I sure did. So at the end of the day, honey, when they start talking about flesh-eating bacteria, there's no way I would ever go back. leg amputated, honey, $1.75 million is not enough for your leg. Okay, not in my book. It's not enough for my leg, honey. So miss me with it. Okay. So with that all being said, there was another woman who said she almost lost her hand due to a flesh-eating bacteria. Ooh, honey, let me show y'all the picture. Hold on. I'm not going to show that. It's too gross. And plus, they have it like blocked out. So I don't even know if I can show it on YouTube. But here's what they say. A Tennessee woman. Now, the first case happened in Florida with an amputated leg. But a Tennessee woman said she went to a nail salon to get a manicure, but left with a flesh-eating bacteria. Okay, she even claims the infection almost caused her to lose her hand. Jane Sharp says she got poked in the thumb earlier this year while getting a manicure in Knoxville, Tennessee's Jazzy Nail Bar. Sharp told the outlet that she initially didn't believe the prick was anything to worry about. However, in just a couple of hours, she said her thumb began throbbing and she began to feel flu-like symptoms. One of Sharp's daughters, a registered nurse, pleaded that she should go to a doctor, and she went. The next morning, the swelling had made it all the way up to Sharp's elbow. Can you imagine? Okay, and she was taken to the emergency room, okay, where she received terrifying news. She was informed the ailment was necrotizing fasciitis, which is the flesh-eating bacteria. Okay, a rare but deadly bacterial infection that kills the body's soft tissue. The doctors told us, had I waited another hour, not one more hour is all it would have taken, it might not be a good situation. I think of the man in Florida. That was dead in 48 hours from a flesh-eating bacteria. Wow, I didn't know it worked that fast. And so anyway, a man battling cancer died from a flesh-eating bacteria 48 hours after a Florida beach trip in July. The man's daughter confirmed that he had been infected with Vibrio vulnificus, which manifests into necrotizing fasciitis. This is what she had posted on Facebook. Y'all hear it? That's enough stories right there to scare you right there into not going back. Please pay attention. FBI Justice says, please, how long will we get the message? How long until we get the message? We can do without those places. Exactly, beloved. You're absolutely right. And that's what all of us collectively need to learn, okay? We need to stay the hell away from them, especially if it's going to cost you to lose a limb, possibly. All right, so thank you, beloved, for your insight to the topic and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, now let's go to this next clip, honey. I'm sorry, but honey, long, fancy nails, it's not worth it. Okay, it's not worth it, Miss Seeley. It just ain't worth it.
We boycotting these type of businesses. I don't know why you're going to here. You might not have heard what's going on, but look up Cyrus Belton. Oh yeah, I know about it. Yeah, but you're still going in. Today I am out in the street spreading the word of the boycott that is happening now and letting people know that this ain't what we doing no more. Okay? So
I think I showed you all this video yesterday, so I'm going to go to another one. But let me tell you all something. That lady, didn't she sound like she had an accent? I think she may have been African or something. She sounded like she had an accent to me. What do y'all think? Okay, now here is an attorney who came out in his nice suit to talk about the Asian blackouts.
Attorney Jamal Pointer wanted to respond to my previous video where I was talking about, well, it was a response to another video where someone had said it was racist for Black people to boycott certain facilities. But how is that racist if the reason that you're doing so is because you've been disrespected and mistreated at those places? So if you've been patronizing a place and then they're mistreating you, it's not racist to stop doing that. And also, it's delusional to think that people of certain groups do not give preference to people within their own group. It's common amongst every group. There's Chinatown. There's in many cities, there's small Hispanic communities where they support each other. But only when you have Black people wanting to support other Black businesses does it ever become an issue or a point of contention.
He He's absolutely right. No lies detected. Let me tell you all something. It is against the law in 50 states for Black people to say anything or do anything that uplifts other Black people. Did y'all know that? Clearly, it's the law. Because as soon as we start doing it, the others who don't look like us always start having something to say. Okay, do you all remember the time, I believe it was Lance Gross with his fine self? That man is fine, honey. Not finer than my man, though, if you're listening, beloved. But anyway, Lance Gross came out and said something. It was either him or that Black guy from, it could have been both of them at different times. The Black guy that played on Queen Sugar. He's African, actually. I forget his name. But, and also the guy that played in Star Wars. What's the guy's name from the UK that played in Star Wars? He was the lead character and everybody got all upset. The white folk got all upset because a Black person had a lead in the Star Wars franchise. And it was so stupid because what they didn't know is that James Earl Jones was Darth Vader's voice. Okay, wasn't he Darth Vader in Star Wars? Like, they're so dumb, they didn't even know that. And so now they're mad because this Black man. But anyway, John Boyega, I think that's his name. So each of these men have at different times, they've come out and said how they love Black women. And here come the Karens entering the chat talking about, what about white women? Go ask your men, what about white women? Ladies, these men are Black. They don't have to think that you're the finest thing since, sliced bread. Okay? Please pay attention. This is what they do. So they can't stand to see Black men praising Black women. Why does it bother them? Okay? At the end of the day, it's always, what about them? What about us? And then when we don't do certain things, like with this Asian blackout, now we're racist. I find it all so interesting. And it's not that like we care what they say, but it's just the fact of the matter that they always try to insert themselves in our business and try to paint these narratives. When at the end of the day, we're just standing up for ourselves. We don't owe any of them anything. Okay, they owed us for them being in our community all these decades and making all of this money off of the backs of us. Our hard-earned money that we were taking into their establishments to get their services that they provided. Now, had they acted like they had some sense, I've been nice and pleasant, okay, and not been hateful and racist and accusing us of stealing when we in fact weren't. Okay, please pay attention. Maybe we'd still be going, but we're not. Okay, and it's no turning back now. At this point, it's no turning back. You know why? Because here's the thing. Had they come out when this first started, had they come out collectively saying, we're sorry, Rick Child was wrong, if they had been saying anything, giving empathy and sympathy, maybe that would have been one thing, but they didn't. They didn't give a darn about the Rick Child verdict. At the end of the day, they didn't start coming out saying those things until we boycotted them, until we announced the boycott. Now, all of a sudden, here they come out of the woodwork. Oh, Black people, we didn't do this. And why are you doing this? It wasn't us. I'm not even Chinese. I'm Vietnamese. Okay, as if that's a difference. Okay, because here's the thing. They paint us all under one brush, whether we're African, Haitian, okay, African American, okay, Trinidadian, whatever. They paint us all the same. When one of us does something, they act like we all collectively did it, specifically with our people. Okay, this is what they do. But when they do something, now all of a sudden they want to separate. Oh no, I'm Vietnamese. I'm not even Chinese. Okay, please. You're still Asian and you still have businesses in our neighborhoods and you too have disrespected us. And I love how they try to minimize the fact of the matter by acting as though it was all about Rick Child. Like the guy said, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, that was one incident of a million other incidents throughout the decades. Well, let's continue. I'm going to show a few more clips and then we're out of here. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Now, this woman you're going to see here, she is half Black and half Asian, I think. Okay, let's get into it.
Hi, everyone. I am so upset by the things that are happening in America right now regarding Asian American abuse and assaults versus Black people. And I would like to add to the conversation as a mixed race Black woman, because I have went through some Asian assaults and East Asian assaults and happenings to myself in my personal life. And I would like to share my story. So what has happened to me is very upsetting because I want to talk about some traumatic experiences I've had with the East Asian community. I grew up around white people, a lot of white people and East Asian people. I'm someone who identifies as Black, Native American, and South Asian. So South Asian meaning Desi, quote unquote, so not East Asian. Okay, so I believe in the Asian community in America, the East Asians usually have more power and privilege because of their proximity to whiteness. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how that proximity to whiteness and privilege has hurt Black people, and specifically me in the situation I want to discuss with you today. So I've had two experiences, one more recent than the other, but basically I want to talk about a story time where an East Asian woman assaulted me at Target. So I was in Target shopping and I was standing at the aisle for hair clips, hair accessories. And then there's an East Asian woman there with her daughter. Her daughter is white, or white presenting. So I'm assuming a mixed race white daughter. The only reason I bring that up is because she was an East Asian woman and I'm assuming that her husband's white. So maybe that, I don't know, a part of me thinks maybe that influenced her racism. I don't know, but that's just what I think. Anyway, she was wearing a black leather jacket, and she whipped her head around, looked at me, and then she runs up. She literally runs up to me, she gets in my personal space, puts her face this close to mine, and then goes with her arms, she attempts, it looks like she was attempting to put her arms around me or assault, do something physical to me. So I walked away. I went to the police. They didn't do anything. And then I reported her to Target management. They probably didn't do anything either. So I want to bring this up because I am Black and I know I'm mixed race, like light skin, all of that. But I grew up, this basically happened near my predominantly white town that has a lot of East Asian people. I bring that up because I grew up there and the people there, I don't want to say the name of the town, but they're very racist. I've had multiple racist incidents happen to me growing up, like people, giving me dirty looks when I'm just walking, or, throwing things at me, like stupid things like that. So I don't even like shopping there. And when this happened, this was when I was like moving from okay, so yeah, I was gonna call. And basically, I don't even like shopping there. But again, this was like a moving period. I was moving from that area to now I'm in a much nicer area where people have respect and decency, and there's a lot of black and brown people. So I shopped in that area, and I knew I shouldn't have because the people there are so racist and nasty, like customer service. But this wasn't even customer service. This was just a random stranger, an Asian woman, coming up to me wanting to fight me. And she basically assaulted me because that was a threat of physical violence. Again, I went to the police, I reported her to Target. But the fact that happened, and then this stuff is coming out now about East Asian people being racist, I'm just so surprised people didn't know that already. Maybe people did, but I don't know. I'm just surprised that people are so surprised. People are acting like they've never heard of this before. They're like, oh, like there's this East Asian influencer I follow, and I remember she said she was very defensive of East Asian racism or the rhetoric, and she's like, oh, people are against East Asians because an Asian person was racist to them once. I'm like, no, like a lot of East Asian people are very racist. Growing up in my town, people saw me with my big curly hair and they saw me as a threat. There were barely any black people in my town. There's probably, or like hometown, there's probably barely any black people there now. I think there's more, like a few more. I don't know from what I've seen, but like, I'm telling you, like it was mostly white people, and then the East Asian people, and then the others like me, and some Indian people, I guess, like some Desi people. But regardless, this is one of the many instances of this happening, and I'm saying in my personal life, this is an example of East Asian, I feel like, abuse and assault done towards me. I have another story for another video. That actually happened much more recently, and in my
Okay, now y'all heard it, and see how they tried to minimize their own culpability. There's no accountability. There is no accountability. There is so much hypocrisy. Okay, it is so much hypocrisy. Okay, it is so much hypocrisy. Aqua Girl Rising said, "Little ma'am, your story sounds fake." It didn't sound fake to me. I think that she was glad to be able to get it out, and I think that now she's only comfortable telling it because of what's going on. I think otherwise she would have kept it completely to herself. Okay? So that all being said, hold on. Let me make sure I showed y'all everything that I want to show you all until the next broadcast. Okay, let's go to one more clip and then we're out of here. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's go to the clip of the ginger. I told y'all these gingers, I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them, but these gingers, they just be loving black folk, honey. Okay? But listen to this. Now I want y'all to peep game. I want y'all to peep game. Gregory says black women rock. Thank you, beloved. We appreciate you. Black men rock too. Okay, so now watch this. What this man says, honey, I find it all so nefarious. Let's get into it.
The real reason why all these racist ass white men want to take us back to before 1865, because that's where they really want to go with this. So here's the thing. Back in 1865, rich white men could just essay black women all they wanted to. And that's what this is all about. White men have never been able to handle rejection, ever. And they want to go back to a time where they didn't have to deal with it, where they could just, if they got turned down, they could go back out into the field, grab someone from one of the houses, and have their way with them without consequences. That's what they truly want.
Okay, did y'all hear that? Okay. Did y'all hear that? Viewstar said, "Don't trust those gingerbread people." Okay, I find it also interesting. So, that's a thought. I mean, they do hate rejection. That's a fact. Okay, that's a fact. Now, D Major says, "I feel like mixed people get the most crap of all." Yeah, no, they don't. They absolutely don't, beloved. Sit down somewhere. Okay, mixed people don't get the most crap. Okay, because they're light skinned. Okay. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking they get it from both sides. That sometimes the black community doesn't treat them right, and sometimes the white folk don't treat them right. Here's the thing. That is true. That's very true, but nobody gets it worse than black people, fully black people, especially dark people. Okay, people my skin tone and darker. We get it the worst, okay? We get it the worst. Now, see, with mixed people, here's the thing. Black people are very accepting of mixed race people. But here's the issue. When there are mixed race people who have these Karens for mothers, and then these Karens raise them with these certain ideologies, okay? Because just because Karens have biracial babies or mixed babies, whatever they want to call them, doesn't mean they're not racist. We all know that. So that's the problem. You see, the ones that have the black mothers, I want you all to pay attention because I've told you this before. Mixed or biracial people who have black mothers, we get along with them much better in most cases. Okay, I know I do. The ones that have Karens for moms, not so much. Okay, because like I said, they have the colonized minds that their mothers have. Okay, I mean they have the colonizer's mind. Okay, many of the time. I'm not gonna say all the time, but much of the time. Okay, so anyway, that's just what it is. D Major, thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. But I would say that overall, if we had to put it on a scale to weigh it, I feel like if you're light-skinned as a black person, you're going to have it easier regardless. Okay, you're going to have it easier regardless than darker-skinned people. Okay, there is something called light-skin privilege, honey, but there's nothing that's ever been called dark-skin privilege. Okay. There's nothing that's ever been called dark skin privilege. That's just what it is. All right. So anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast, honey. I'm going to conclude the broadcast, but I will be back. at 6:30. Okay, at 6:30. Wait a minute. Maybe I'll come back before this since we're getting done early. You know what? I'll probably come back at about. Yeah, I think I'll come back at about 6. Okay, 6 o'clock, I'll be back. All right, so anyway, with that all being said, listen, I love you all to life, okay? I appreciate you all so much. At the end of the day, okay, the trolls come in here. They don't want to click that link, though. That's how you know they're cowards. They can sit there. Anybody can be a keyboard gangster. Oh, you ain't no queen. Oh, you just up here trying to talk about white folk. Oh, you just talking about racism. That's all you care about. I'm supposed to care about racism. I'm Black. The racism is presented upon my people. Please sit down somewhere. And let me say one more thing in closing. So last night also when I was in that live, or when I was watching it after I got dropped down, somebody said, one of the Karens said something about, we make everything about race, or she said something about we're making it about race. And my thing is, I put in the chat, how are we making it about race? That's what you all did. You all invented the construct of race. So you can never accuse us of making anything about race. Okay, you just couldn't. And also, let me say something too that I meant to point out in one of those videos. When the young lady was talking about the history of the nails and them coming over here and doing the nails and all that stuff, and talking about how it was viewed as prestigious back in ancient Egypt, okay, that's very true. And if you notice, back in ancient Egypt, they wore makeup. They had their nails done. Honey, they had wigs. Okay, they had wigs. And the wigs were made out of, I guess, their own hair, or, you know, their own people's hair. But they wore wigs and everything. I guess they were ahead of the curve. Okay? I guess they were ahead of the curve. So anyway, with that all being said, listen, I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got